Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, we're discussing communication skills so you could level up. Today, I'm going to be breaking down journaling for dummies. Journaling is one of the most powerful habits that you can start picking up that's going to help you out mentally, emotionally, behaviorally, and so much more. Yet, as a beginner, one of the things that we tend to do is overthink. We overthink so much on the small little details that we may begin journaling, but we're making it seem like work. And anytime something feels like work for an extended period of time, we need too much discipline. And when we need too much discipline, we tend to quit. I don't want that to be the case. I want to explain today's video in such an easy to understand way where journaling becomes fun. It becomes fun because you're not sweating the small little details. You're understanding the basics, the fundamentals, the root cause of everything, so you could build the details later on. In this video, you're going to learn three main components. The first part of this video, you're going to learn about the benefits of journaling. The second part of the video, I'm going to answer the coveted question, well, what do I talk about? And the third part of this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to make sure that you're doing this habit daily. Because you see, I've been at that point where I started journaling, I quit, I began again, and I quit. I've been there. So if you're like that right now, I can completely empathize. But for the past year and a half, I have been journaling every single day. So I believe the insights that I'm about to share with you in this video is going to be highly practical. Not just theory, but practical. That's what we're going for. If you're ready and excited, be sure to drop that like for me right on below. So the first part, what are some benefits of journaling? What's in it for me? There's a lot in it for you. I can't discuss every single benefit in this video. Otherwise, we're going to be here for a long time. But just to talk about a few of the core ones. The first part is that you're able to think much more clearly. One of the main reasons for depression and anxiety is because we're not able to have control over our attention. And can you blame most humans? Because we're living in this era right now where the world is fighting for our attention. Marketing companies, social media, mainstream media, multiple different organizations have teams and armies fighting for our attention. And the problem is that as they get more control, the less control that we have. The main reason for depression and anxiety is mind wandering. And mind wandering is when you are unable to control your internal world. The beauty about journaling is that you're training yourself every single day for a certain part of the day to make sure that you are in charge of your mind. And as you build this habit of spending certain amount of time being in charge of your mind, it accumulates. The neural pathways start to strengthen upon one another. It starts to compound and you start to get more attention back. So as more time goes on by, you start becoming a clearer thinker. Which brings me to the next benefit. Great writers are great thinkers are great speakers, and great speakers are great leaders. As you start writing and as you start thinking more clearly, another thing that you'll notice is that you start speaking more clearly as well. One of the main reasons that you mumble, you stutter, you don't feel good when you're speaking, there's a lot of self-doubt in your voice, is because you're unsure. You don't know your ideas too well to a point where there's always hesitancy behind your words. The more that you journal, the clearer that you'll think, and the clearer that you think, the more conviction that you have behind your words. Once you have that conviction, the words flow out of you rather than being pushed out. So that's another benefit that I noticed. Now, as you're starting to become a better thinker, a better speaker, you'll also notice that you start feeling better as well. That's one of the surprising benefits I've noticed since journaling every single day for the past year and a half. I have more energy. It's because I have more control over my emotions. When you have more control over your emotions, you also have more control over your behavior, which allows for more energy. So that's benefit number 3. Benefit number 4 is something more philosophy related. Have you ever heard of the quote, "In order to change your world, you need to change your worldview"? Well, journaling sort of applies to this in a very scientific realm. Within the human brain, we have this thing called the reticular activating system. It's a set of neurons on our brain stem, and without getting too complicated, it basically serves as the bouncer at a club. You know, when you're trying to go to a club, everyone's trying to get in, but the bouncer says, no, 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 only you're allowed to get in. You gotta kick rocks. That's sort of like the reticular activating system. It processes information, so instead of all the information coming into our internal world, it sort of just says, no, no, this is the right information, this one, leave. This is phenomenal news for you because now you're able to recondition your perception by effectively spending a certain amount of time every day choosing your words, choosing your language. By using language, you're rewiring your perception, also known as psycholinguistics. And a changed perception can equal to a changed reality. So these are just a few of the benefits regarding journaling. You definitely want to see which benefit resonates the most with you. For me personally, when I was first learning how to journal, and once I truly committed to it, I wanted to become a better speaker. So that was the benefit that resonated with my initial condition. But if you're someone that's going through depression right now, then the emotional benefits, emotional regulation, and clear thinking benefit will resonate with you. But take some time and pick the right benefit for you, or at least take some time and see what you're trying to improve. What are you trying to get out of this journaling experience so you're much more likely to commit long term? Which brings me to part 2. What do I talk about? This is a coveted question, and there's different routes I can give you. I'm going to give you some of the common answers. Man, you could just write gratitude, all right? You get a bullet and talk about 7 to 10 things that you're grateful for. That's one thing you could write about. Another thing you could do is turn your life into a story. You're the main character. You could talk about your conflicts and reach a conclusion. Another formula is giving advice to your younger self. All these are cool formulas, right? And you may be tempted to grasp one of these formulas, right? But that's not what I recommend. I recommend in the beginning stages, you don't have any formulas. You don't have any frameworks. The main thing I want you to understand, the answer to the question, what do I talk about? Whatever you want to talk about. Write down whatever is on your mind, unfiltered. The reason that you want to follow this strategy versus all these formulas in the beginning stages is because now you're starting to personalize yourself with the journal. You're saying, this is what I am going to be doing. And the more that you're taking the power for yourself, the more that you build a relationship with the journal. The more entries that you stack up, the more that you'll notice that different formulas are being presented to you. You're not going to notice the personalized formulas for you if you just adopt someone else's formula from the get-go. Now, this is a completely counterintuitive advice than what most people say, but this is the advice that's worked for me. I started off for the past year and a half just writing about what I wanted to. And as I've been doing it for the past year and a half, nowadays my framework includes listing out 7 things that I'm grateful for in the beginning stages, spending 10 to 15 minutes writing down whatever is on my mind, 2 minutes just writing some affirmations, and finally just writing a to-do list. But this framework is simply for me. So find the framework that's simply for you by starting off with a simple advice. Write down whatever is on your mind. Eventually, the formulas will present itself. Now, the third part, how do you do this every single day? Well, there's different advice for this, but you just want to kind of get a grasp of, are you someone that wants to type or are you someone that wants to handwrite? For me, I was someone that started off typing a lot, and then I transitioned into handwriting, and now I do both. I personally like doing both because there's certain days that I don't want to write by hand. It's not feeling it. So for those days, I leverage Microsoft Word and Twitter. But certain days, I'm not necessarily feeling the online approach too much. So on those days, I have a backup plan, which is writing by hand. So in order for you to stick with it long term, I highly recommend in the beginning stages, you're experimenting with both. And eventually, once you do commit, you feel more conviction behind your move. Which brings me to the second point. If you are someone that is going to write into a journal, I recommend that you buy the bundle edition. When you buy the bundle edition, you are indicating to your subconscious mind, yo, I'm committing to this task. I'm not just gonna write one journal entry and that's it. I'm committing to this task for a long period of time. In the description box right down below, I'm going to link my personal journal bundle that I use, and you can check it out as well. Another tip that I have is to do your journaling in the morning. All right, and night is something you could add on as well. But as you're picking up this habit in the beginning stages, get it done in the morning, because our days can get busy out of the blue moon. We may want to, do it later on. Our willpower is drained, and we're like, I'll do it another time. So if you truly want to commit to this task for an extended period of time, make sure you start off in the morning, you ingrain it into your subconscious mind, and later on, you can start becoming a little bit more flexible. And the final tip that I have to make sure that you do your journaling every single day is to use the word forever. Say, I'm going to journal every day forever. The reason that you have to add the word forever is because it awakens your subconscious mind. When you just say, yeah, I'm going to journal, yeah, that's only getting your conscious mind involved, barely. But when you say, I am going to journal every day forever, whether you're aware of it or not, your subconscious mind is like, forever? Because that's a powerful word. It's a powerful perception programmer. So if you're serious about this, use the word forever and commit to this life-changing act. Overall, journaling is one of the most powerful techniques that you're going to incorporate into your life. It's a mental workout. It's the gym for the mind. It's one of the most brilliant ways to enhance your communication skills, to speak with power, to speak with conviction. What are you waiting for? Begin today and start building your confidence, melting away the internal tension, and starting to build your influence all around the world. If today's video helped you, be sure to drop that like for me right down below, and you share this video on your social media of choice. Thank you for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next episode.